It's an absolutely beautiful afternoon in the desert southwestern portion of the United States of America, where we visit the MGM Grand Hotel and Casino here in Las Vegas for this Cinco de Mayo holiday weekend, plus World Championship boxing at its absolute best. Well, you know, it's weigh-in time this afternoon, and the fans have really flocked the arena for the last glimpse of their favorite fighters. Of course, the main event tomorrow, and why all the hoopla, it's Floyd Mayweather taking on Miguel Cotto for the WBA Super Welterweight Championship of the World. That's a big one. You'll also see a Super Welterweight 12-round battle for the championship of Canelo Alvarez. He's the bright up-and-coming 39-0 with a draw fighter from Guadalajara, Mexico. Everybody loves him. And look who he's fighting. The ever-popular and grand champion of many divisions, Shane Mosley from Pomona, California, who comes in looking for his 47th career victory. Our next fight of the evening will be the welterweight 10-rounder featuring Jessie Vargas, the kid from Las Vegas. He's 18-0 undefeated, and he's taking on the sturdy veteran and Stevie Forbes, who would like to continue his career just a bit further. He's a good one and a likable kid, a great fighter. And the first fight in the pay-per-view event tomorrow will be Deandre Latimore from Las Vegas, Nevada. He's 23-3 with 17 knockouts, and he will be taking on Carlos Quintana from Mocha in Puerto Rico. He's 28-3 with 22 knockouts. Well, hello once again, everybody. I'm the Colonel Bob Sheridan, and it's absolutely unbelievable. With Dave Bontempo, we present this show to you for the weigh-in, and look at the crowd coming in here, Dave.
It's really amazing, Colonel. These weigh-ins might have 3,000 or 4,000 people, have more people than some of the fights throughout different cities. Today, as Oscar De La Hoya gets introduced and you see this crowd get up, a guy came up and asked me to autograph his glove, and he said, do you know where the weigh-in is? And I told him, I said, but it's 3 hours from now. He goes, I have to know. He goes, I don't want to be late. He was only about 200 yards away.
Well, here's Oscar De La Hoya. Let's listen to him.
Mexico, Puerto Rico, the U.S., todo el mundo, all over the world. This fight will be an amazing fight because of the fans. So thank you, fans, everybody here, all the kids here. Thank you for being here. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Oscar. Are we close to bringing the fighters up for the first weigh-in?
So Michael Buffer announces to the crowd in attendance here that they're close to bringing the fighters out for the first weigh-in and bringing up to the stage. It looks like the pay-per-view first fight will be Deandre Latimore and Carlos Quintana. So, Dave, we might as well let Michael Buffer handle this.
And here they go.
Carlos Quintana.
You know, it had the chance, those fights with Paul Williams. He gave Williams all kinds of trouble. Beat him in 2008, and then Williams knocked him out in the rematch. Quintana is a difficult guy to fight.
Deandre Latimore.
And it was supposed to be Carlos coming out first, and that was Deandre Latimore. So we'll see. There's Deandre.
First onto the scales, former world champion in Boricua de Puerto Rico. 28 professional victories, 22 by knockout. The official weight, 154 pounds, right at the junior middleweight limit. Carlos Quintana. Next up onto the scales, 23 victories, 17 KOs from Las Vegas, Deandre Latimore.
Deandre Latimore steps up there, 23-3, 17 knockouts. Very popular in this area because he's from Las Vegas. See what he scales them at.
154.5. The limit is 55. 1/2 pound under the limit. Deandre Latimore.
Well, that means the contract limit is at 155. The welterweight limit is 147, so we're going to clear that up for our fans.
And half pound over, they talk about the give or take. Usually there's a 1 pound swing in there if both parties allow it, and so he took half of what was being offered.
And Dave, again, I want to reiterate the fact that that's just because it's not a world title fight. If it's a world title fight and it's called super welterweights, they've got to be in at 154 and no more. But the contract weight for this fight is 155. It's still super welterweight, or they could have called it a middleweight fight, but they would really, these guys are known as super welterweight. So that's the way it goes. And now the rest of the fighters will continue to come up.
Vacant NABO junior middleweight title, former world champion Carlos Quintana and Deandre Latimore from Las Vegas.
And they're fighting for one of the lesser titles tomorrow, the NABO title. So that's a good one, North American Boxing Organization. So,
and ladies and gentlemen, of course, tomorrow night will be a big celebrity night, as always, with a big fight. But right here in attendance, we've got some great names from the world of boxing. Let's bring up onto the stage, a top middleweight contender, Danny Jacobs.
Well, Michael Buffer continues to introduce the celebrities that are in the arena, and it amazes me, Dave, that celebrities have even come into the arena for weigh-ins. I mean, weigh-ins have just become a big showcase for the fights now.
Yeah, and the first one I ever remember years ago was Tyson and Bruno here in Las Vegas years ago when all the Brits came in, and you had thousands of people coming just to watch the weigh. It started there, and it slightly progressed, and now with the technology and the pay-per-view outlets, it becomes a major production. And now the champions and celebrities want to be seen here today, too.
And the world sees the whole thing, so everybody wants to show up for the weigh-in. Now, I go way back. The first weigh-in that I was ever at was in Miami Beach when Muhammad Ali, then Cassius Clay, fought Sonny Liston back in 1963, and it was unbelievable. There were only about 12 people in the room, and still Ali put on the fantastic show. And by that time, they realized, hey, we need a little bit bigger room. And now we're into arenas to fill people for weigh-ins. We had BJ Flores earlier today getting the feeling of the fans coming in, so let's drop in on BJ.
Colonel, you're absolutely not going to believe it. It's 10:45, and we got Cotto fans, we got Mayweather fans. The place is jam-packed, a lot of excitement here. Let's go over and talk to some of the Cotto fans right now. Miguel Cotto fans, where are you at? We got a small section of Puerto Rico right here. Miguel Cotto fans. Now, predictions of the fight on Saturday night. Miguel Cotto versus Floyd Money Mayweather. Who wins and how?
Oh, well, it's Miguel Cotto all day. He's been consistent. He's been decisive. Everybody in the world knows that what Miguel Cotto's bringing to the ring. And, it's going to be a good pay-per-view fight. Everybody should be tuned into it.
Prediction on a knockout or if it goes the distance?
No, ain't nobody going to knock out Mayweather. He's a very respectable fighter. They're both very respectable fighters, but it's going to be one that the people really want and the people are going to get. And, Miguel Cotto is going to deliver that tonight. To come Saturday night.
People definitely waiting and looking for Cotto to deliver on Saturday night. We got a Mayweather fan now. Let's get a very opinion. Let's talk about Floyd Money Mayweather for a second. Floyd Money Mayweather, who wins the fight and what is your prediction?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you straight up, Money Mayweather and the team. Mayweather go win the fight. We ain't gonna even do 10 rounds. We respect Cotto. We respect everything he bringing, but we gonna knock Cotto out in the 7th round. Money Mayweather. We passing out $100 bills, baby. Mayweather team. Put some money on Mayweather, baby. I respect it all.
Passing out $100 bills, Mayweather in 7 rounds. Wow, very exciting.
Here we go. Who gonna win? You decide. You decide.
As you can see, we've got a great atmosphere here. Cotto versus Mayweather, going to be big. Corey from Chicago, Illinois. Now, Corey, I don't want to know what you think is going to happen in the fight. What's going to happen on the fight on Saturday night? Go.
I got Mayweather late KO, 10th round.
Mayweather late KO, 10th round. Anybody else? Mayweather fans.
BJ has become a broadcaster now. He was a terrific light heavyweight and cruiserweight fighter, and BJ does a nice job out there, and there was great atmosphere.
Especially when
don't forget what time of the morning it was.
You get people from both sides. I'm going to have this guy. I want this guy. The betting slips, and the guy says exactly under 8 rounds. Well, he probably put something on that in the book just before that with nice proposition bets. And that is something here in Las Vegas where the betting is legal. That is a lot of the fun attached to the big fight. Not only can you bet who will win, but the proposition bets are very good for you, and you get some good rate of return. Right now, it's in the neighborhood of 5-1 and 7-1, depending on how you look at it, as far as the odds of the fight go, with Mayweather being favored.
Well, yeah, that's right, Dave. And the fact that you can bet $5 or $10 and have an enjoyable bet, whether it's a proposition of rounds or on your favorite fighter. The thing is, if you bet the favorite fighters in this fight, you don't get any money back. You get your own money back in about $1.
Right. I think Mayweather for a decision is like 2-5 at one place yesterday, because that's the expectation.
And Michael Buffer continues to introduce the many fighters that are in attendance. And like you said, Dave Bontempo, it's very important to these fighters to see and be seen at these big events like this.
Sure, you have Bernard Hopkins was holding court just outside a little while ago. And Paulie Malignaggi coming off his last really good fight.
10 rounds in the welterweight division. First up, from Las Vegas, Nevada, 35 victories in his career.
All right, this is our next fight now.
Stevie Forbes.
Steve Forbes, one of the real nice kids in boxing. I've known him for many years. He's at the tail end of his career, but he's a warrior.
Undefeated in 18 bouts.
Guy who's been a champion and had a good run going a few years ago. Like to try to catch lightning in a bottle one more time.
For Stevie, it's a tall task for a fellow Nevadan and fellow Las Vegan lives across town, because this young Jessie Vargas, 18-0, and they really predict him as one of the up-and-coming fighters. But Steve, you can just see by the look of him, he's a very personable guy. And the thing that really Vargas needs is to get some rounds in against a real experienced, clever, cagey fighter. Even in his prime, Stevie was never a big banger, so this fight is, if Steve can hang in there and give him some rounds, he's going to go a while. Look at the bodies of these guys. Unbelievable. Steve in great shape.
Stevie Forbes.
Stevie Forbes, as you see on the scale.
146.5 pounds. Stevie Forbes.
So he's a pro. He comes in at 146.5.
Undefeated welterweight from Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, Jessie Vargas.
This kid you're going to see a lot more of.
146 even for Jessie Vargas.
And he scales him at 146. So they're both in under the welterweight division mark of 147.
And we just got word, ladies and gentlemen,
the true pros make no mistake when it comes to that. And there has been an emphasis in recent times in making weight and have it be a more significant thing, because fines are being levied out. Some cases, multi-million-dollar fines in big fights.
And they should be. I mean, David,
you
that's
are
part
a
of the
professional.
business. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. It's important for a professional camp to bring their fighter in. There have been 2 or 3 fighters that have just made a mockery. It's really tough on the networks and the fans and everybody else when these fights are postponed or in some cases they just don't fight for title, and it's not the same thing.
And you can tell there's not anything really with the scales that you can be surprised. You can weigh yourself time after time and you can get right on top of it. And the real pros not only hit it, but they hit it within like maybe a quarter of a pound, so they're not doing anything to themselves. You're getting the full limit. So we're 4 for 4 so far.
Well, we've got the 2 fights weighed in. The first fight that you'll see on pay-per-view tomorrow is Deandre Latimore for the NABO welterweight title, and a 10-rounder against the former world champ Carlos Quintana from Mocha in Puerto Rico. Hello once again, everybody. The Colonel Bob Sheridan along with Dave Bontempo, and we welcome you to Las Vegas, Nevada. And it's absolutely beautiful afternoon, and we're going to come inside and we'll show you the major part of the weigh-in. In other words, the 2 main events. The WBC welterweight title featuring Canelo Alvarez and Shane Mosley will weigh in first, and then along will come Floyd Mayweather and Miguel Cotto. This will be our first live fight tomorrow. Deandre Latimore against Carlos Quintana. Then you'll see Jessie Vargas against Steve Forbes. And then we get into the real big ones, Canelo Alvarez and Shane Mosley. So let's go up to the stage, and here's Michael Buffer.
Canelo.
Introducing Canelo Alvarez. This kid has become a real popular attraction in Mexico and in the United States. You'll see why when he takes his hat off, he's got that red hair going for him, and it's always been a big attraction for, and throughout the world now it's become a major attraction.
Yes, the tough Mexican that also appeals to all the Irishmen.
Yes.
The red-headed top, and you know, boxing being the international sport it is.
Well, that's
a great combination.
Yeah, Davey boy, that's what I said the first time I saw him fight. I said, this guy must have some serious Irish connection. Of course, I didn't know him at all. It was only about his second professional fight. But I knew one thing about him. He was going to be a good one. Some guys you can just tell, and this guy's one of them. Canelo Alvarez. You got that baby face.
Well, there's never been a better time to come along and be an elite fighter. And he reminds me a lot of how Oscar was coming up. The hype for him, the fact that they're already getting him into promotions. Canelo is already a promoter, as well as having a lot of interest outside of boxing.
Yeah,
he knows how to drive the train.
That's a big thing, Dave, because you know when you take a look at the tomorrow night's fights, Mayweather is a promoter, Miguel Cotto is a promoter, Mosley's a promoter, Alvarez is a promoter, and there's 2 or 3 other promoters that are involved. Here's Shane Mosley. He's been a great one over the years.
He has. Are you a promoter?
No, I'm not.
Hey, Sugar Shane. Terrific force in boxing over the years. And when he fights guys his size, he's done well. The only people that have really given him a hard time are the tall guys like Alvarez. So let's see how this plays out for him.
Well, he's certainly not at the peak of his career, but he's certainly at the peak of his attraction in the world of boxing. And that's why people want to see him. Another thing is that over the years, he's become a very, very, very likable person, very approachable. These people that travel from all over the world to have the opportunity to come, if only to a weigh-in and watch it on closed circuit at one of the big venues here, they're thrilled to see him, and he will give them time. And it's really something. It's kind of like a Super Bowl World Series. And on top of that, we might mention, since you are the Bony Boy, it's Kentucky Derby weekend here, too, to just throw more action into the pot for this weekend. A lot of enthusiasm.
And there's been plenty. I've already seen that sports book today.
I'm sure you have. Dave and I have a fight to do tonight over the Hard Rock that involves the promoters of the main event fighters from tomorrow. And BJ Flores, we have some predictions involving Canelo Alvarez.
Okay, he's here especially to watch Canelo Alvarez. He comes from Acapulco, Mexico, and he's here to watch. Now, let's talk about how Canelo is going to win the fight. ¿Cómo va a ganar la pelea el Canelo en contra de Mosley? ¿Cómo? ¿Con agresividad o cómo lo va a hacer?
Pues sí, pues va a tener que emplearse a fondo porque también Mosley es un buen peleador, pero sabemos que el Canelo viene con todo y va por él con todo. Yo pienso que lo va a noquear.
To the stand to step on the scales and weigh in. 2 tattoos on Shane, I'm noticing.
46 victories, 39 knockouts, 6 times a world champion in 3 divisions. On the scale, Sugar Shane Mosley. $154.5, 1/2 pound over the limit at this point. He has 1 hour to shed the 1/2 pound. Next up onto the scales, damas y caballeros de Guadalajara, Mexico. Undefeated, 39 victories, 29 knockouts. The reigning and defending WBC Super Welterweight champion Saul Canelo Alvarez. 154 pounds for the champion. 154.
Gee, look at that body, Dave, huh? How did these guys punish himself to get in that kind of shape?
And right on the number. You'd like to see that. 154.
Shane a little annoyed that he didn't hit the number right on, but he's got, as we said, an hour to lose that weight. Now, it's only a half a pound, and he can do that. All he's got to do is take his underpants off and go and sweat for about 15 minutes, so it's not a case of really serious dehydration to lose that half a pound for him. He can do that. So his official weight is going to be the same as Canelo Alvarez tomorrow at 154. He can lose that half pound. So that's what we talked about a little bit earlier when in the earlier fight that when Jessie Vargas weighed in the welterweight division, he was a pound over, and Stevie Forbes was a pound and a half over, and we said it's not significant here because their contract weight was as such. When you're fighting for a world title, it's totally different. You have to hit, at least for a second, that exact number, and the exact number is 154. Canelo Alvarez was right on it, and Shane Mosley, 154 and a half. At his age, is great as they have the stare-off right here. Two really nice fellas.
Yeah, and they're two guys who probably will team up in the future for promoting events, too. So they really have to get their entertainment face on right here. Yeah, the 154 is right on the number for Shane Mosley. He shouldn't have that much trouble. And it is a big thing. We've seen guys, Dave, they have to lose 3 pounds. There's dehydration involved, and there's all type of injury risk, and they don't fight well. So Mosley, at least only a half pound over, should be no real problem for him.
But nonetheless, it is a problem because he's got to get that down, and then he's got to rehydrate because the rehydration is just as important.
The key is not to despair and to give it all in the ring. Many have tried through wins and losses. Oscar De La Hoya, Vernon Forrest, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao. Some have won, some have lost, but none have ever stopped Shane Mosley. How do you become the first man to do it?
Yo no voy a tratar. Yo vengo a ganar, no a tratar.
I'm not going to try. I come to win. Thanks, Canelo. Shane, not used to seeing you not make weight. What's up?
I thought I made weight on a different scale, but it's all right. It's like a half a pound. I'm all right. I'm good.
How do you beat Canelo Alvarez?
Just by being me, by being Sugar Shane Mosley. I got speed, power, and, for this training camp, I worked very hard. I'm ready to go.
This is a strange question to ask because you've been such a warrior your whole career. But given the Pacquiao fight, why should we believe that you're going to beat Canelo Alvarez?
Well, you don't really have to believe that I'm going to beat him, but I know that I'm going to beat him. It's for me to believe, and it's going to happen.
Thanks, Shane. Good luck taking off that half pound.
Yeah, it should be all right. I'll go back.
Jim.
All right. So that was Max Kellerman interviewing Shane, and like I said, he didn't seem too concerned about losing that half pound, did he?
And it's interesting as you take a look at the MGM Grand, where we'll be in here tomorrow night for a big pay-per-view card with Sugar Shane Mosley. Talked about a nice guy he is, and he didn't even bristle at the tough question.
All right, we welcome you back to the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, and this is a weigh-in for the main event of the evening. Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Miguel Cotto. The crowd is in attendance here in the thousands just to see the weigh-in. The other undercard fighters for tomorrow's pay-per-view event have already scaled, and everybody's doing well. We've got one final report from B.J. Flores, who was here a few hours ago when the crowds just came in. So let's go to B.J. and pick that up.
Ready to kick off the Floyd Mayweather, Miguel Cotto weigh-in. The people are starting to really come in now. This crowd is really, really starting to fill this place up. I think it holds 5,000 people, and it's going to be a packed house today. On the undercard, we've got Jessie Vargas versus Steve Forbes. We've got Carlos Quintana versus Deandre Latimore. The crowd really starting to hype it up now. The Cotto fans versus the Floyd Money Mayweather fans. You got the Puerto Rican flags everywhere. You got the people with the Money Mayweather t-shirts on. Everyone's very excited. I can't wait to see the atmosphere when these two fighters step on the scale.
BJ, you are going to see it right now because this is the atmosphere and the place is right. Let's go back up for the introduction for the main event to Michael Buffer. It's amazing. It's a Mexican weekend, and the Mexican people don't like the Puerto Rican fans, but I swear it sounds like they're rooting for him tonight.
They'll be rooting for Cotto, and Mayweather lives in Las Vegas, so how about that?
Miguel Cotto.
He's on the road at home.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, he is the ring king of pay-per-view. His nickname, Money, because he makes more than any other fighter. 7 times a world champion in 5 divisions, 42 fights, 42 victories, 26 wins by knockout from Grand Rapids, Michigan. The undefeated pound-for-pound king of the ring, Floyd Money Mayweather.
It always tickles me when you see some of these handlers. It's like they're 15 minutes of fame, and they're out like they're the fighter. Here comes Floyd now. He'll create a fury here. Blowing kisses to the crowd in Las Vegas. And it's not really an ingratiating welcoming for Floyd here, is it?
It never is. It wasn't like that for Victor Ortiz here either last September. It was an Ortiz house. But Mayweather also likes playing up to being the quote-unquote bad guy. That's been his persona. Underneath it all, he's a nice kid when you sit there and you just talk to him one-on-one if it's just you and he. Well, this is the showbiz aspect for him.
I've known the family for 25 years, so he's nowhere near as bad. Here's Michael.
42 victories in 42 fights, 26 KOs. He is the 7-time world champion in 5 divisions, the undefeated Floyd Money Mayweather.
Floyd trying to get his gear off to get up to that scale. Take a look at that body. He's paid the price, hasn't he? £151, Money Mayweather.
Got 3 pounds to lend out.
He's in great shape. Well, of course, he's coming up to Cotto's weight here.
Yes. 8 straight years a world champion. 16 successful world championship fights. 4-time world champion in 3 divisions from Caguas, Puerto Rico. Miguel Cotto.
People forget how good this guy is.
154 pounds for the defending world champion.
Yeah, that's another thing Michael just said. He is the defending world champ of this division. People just wiping this guy off, and it figures that Floyd will be able to outbox him and drag him into the late rounds and maybe stop him then. But Cotto, in the meantime, as you go through and get him into those late rounds, it's a different kettle of fish, I think, anyway.
Yes, it is, and we saw Floyd Mayweather, if you're looking for things to conjecture about, he had some. 154 could be a tougher class for him.
I couldn't do this without laughing.
He's laughing is right.
Floyd kind of taunting him just with his looks, and Miguel Cotto stone-faced.
And now you're Cotto, you're committed to that stone face. You've got to carry it off the rest of this. Or start laughing.
Cotto Mayweather.
Cotto and Mayweather. 42-0 for Floyd. Look at how long they've been doing this, though, Dave. Now it's getting a little strange.
Now it's like, what's the script here?
I don't know what they're saying, whether they're pleasantries or what. But there hasn't been the taunting that's been going on.
They've shown each other a lot of respect leading up to this, too.
It's getting
this might be your boiling point.
Yeah, it's getting to the point
Tomorrow
where...
night, MGM Grand, Las Vegas.
Of course, we can't
HBO
hear because of the crowd in
pay-per-view.
here.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Max Kellerman, I'm sure we'll get to the bottom of what that stare down was all about. So we're waiting for that interview. And as soon as we have it, we will share it with you folks. By the way, we appreciate you joining us, Dave and I, around the world for our big pay-per-view event coming up. Max Kellerman moving into position, and we'll have that interview for you momentarily. So we'll just stick right with us here until it unfolds, as I'm sure that's something you want to hear. All right, let's go to the interview.
Promotion, things look like they just got a little heated. What were you guys saying to each other?
I just told him, when you're facing Floyd Mayweather, you're facing the best. So I look forward to going out there tomorrow, executing the game plan, and being at my best.
151, that's the most you ever weighed for a fight. What's it feel like?
I feel great. I feel good. Training camp has went tremendous. The build-up has went tremendous. Now it's time for the fight.
You could have weighed up to 154, but you came in. They used to do this in the old days, just fight where they're most comfortable. Why did you make that choice?
I feel comfortable fighting at any weight. Miguel Cotto has been around the sport for a long time. And, of course, he looked kind of dry to me. He looked drained. Me, myself, I'm comfortable. And wherever I feel comfortable at, that's where I'm fighting at.
In recent fights, I guess since your hands have felt better, you've been walking guys down. What's the plan tomorrow night?
The plan is just to take my time, execute the game plan from the beginning. Press the attack from the beginning and see what he got.
Floyd, finally, this is for a weigh-in, a tremendous crowd. This didn't happen for the first half of your career. It's happened in recent years. Why?
From the ground up, hard work, dedication, prayers and belief in a good team. It's been a lot of hard work. I took my time, made the right moves, and now I'm here where I'm at because I deserve to be here.
And what's this feel like when you have a bigger crowd than most prize fights get to watch the weigh-in?
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Thanks, Floyd. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right.
Jim?
Max Kellerman with the interview with Floyd Mayweather Jr. And he's certainly calm. He's always confident. He's some fighter. We're at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, and this is the tail of the tape, Dave. Take a look at it, see if you can pick up anything for tomorrow.
A big thing of Mayweather, the 5-inch reach advantage, and the way he jabs with his shoulder roll, he can make a 5-inch reach advantage look like 12. And that's the big thing about him. People have a hard time penetrating to get inside the Mayweather reach, and then he's able to toy with them.
Well, we'll see what it's all about. Right now, they're trying to get Miguel Cotto on the stage, and as soon as we're ready for the next interview,
after
here is
a pretty
Max
respectful, calm build-up to this fight, things just got a little heated. Floyd said that he told you when you fight Floyd Mayweather, you're fighting the best. What did you tell him?
He never faced nobody like Miguel Cotto. That's the reason he's undefeated. That's the reason tomorrow I'm going to be in charge of ending that.
You used to be the most consistent, fearsome body puncher in boxing. What's your body plan tomorrow?
I can go just for the body. I need to be on top of him in everything, and that's what's going to happen tomorrow.
Floyd says that he's going to bring the fight to you, and you see him do that in recent years. What does that mean to you?
No, I'm here for fight. If he want to run, I'm ready for that. If he want to face me, I'm ready for that. I'm ready for everything he can do to me.
Miguel, what does this fight mean to you? What's at stake here in your career?
No, I think this fight means a lot for me, but it's not just for me. It's for the whole Latin heritage in the whole world.
Thanks, Miguel. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well,
Jim?
Miguel said the right thing to Max Kellerman. It's for the whole Latino and Cinco de Mayo weekend. That includes the Mexicans, even though he's a Puerto Rican. So the big difference is going to be speed in the fight tomorrow, and I can see it. Unbelievable. All right, now remember, the pay-per-view begins tomorrow evening with this fight. Deandre Latimore, 23-3, 17 knockouts against the former world champ Carlos Quintana, who's 28-3 in the super welterweight division. Then next you'll see this fight, and it'll be a dandy. In the welterweight division, you'll see Jessie Vargas taking on Stevie Forbes. The crowd inside the arena continues to filter around and go around, and this is the second fight that you'll see, Jessie Vargas against Stevie Forbes. Then the co-feature of the evening is the WBC Super Welterweight Championship. Canelo Alvarez, the kid on the rise, the reigning world champ, against a multi-divisional, multi-six-time world champ in Shane Mosley. Does the great champ have one more great one left? And then, of course, this is the one that we all want to see. The main event of the evening for, remember, Cotto's WBA Super Welterweight title. He's the champion in this one, as Floyd Mayweather will try to lift that title and against Miguel Cotto. It should be a sensational afternoon. Check your local pay-per-view in your area, wherever it is, and don't miss this one. It should be a great one. So for Dave Bontempo and the entire production staff at Belmonte Production, I'm the Colonel Bob Sheridan saying thanks for joining us. We'll look forward to seeing you on the big pay-per-view event tomorrow evening. Good night, everybody.